Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan, Tim.
The juice has a hunk of wax in her ear that is so big that it looks like when I look with a flashlight in there, it appears that her ear canal is almost fully occluded.
It probably is. I've had that a couple times.
And you look in there, and it's like a ball of brown shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I've been fucking around with this thing for like 3 years, trying to figure out a way to flush it out.
Wait, it's been in there for 3 years?
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you take her to the doctor and have it flushed out with hot water?
Oh, because the doctor said, yeah, it seems to be fine. I can see her eardrum, and it looks healthy. It doesn't seem to be causing her any discomfort.
No, sorry. You got to get it out of there.
Yeah, that's her regular pediatrician, who's fucking awesome regularly.
Well, she's a doctor. I'm not, but when I get it in my ear, I can't hear. It clogs up my whole ear.
And she talks loud as hell, and I say, why don't we go get that fucking potato removed from your ear so you can start listening better and hearing how fucking loud you talk? It's ridiculous. And the Beast and I have gone back and forth with this for years, and she keeps telling me, don't fuck with her ear. Well, I finally had enough. And years ago, a couple of years, maybe 2 years back, I was gifted a plastic syringe. Doesn't have an actual needle. It's not like that. It's a flushing syringe.
Yeah, I got one when I had my wisdom teeth pulled.
Yeah, imagine that on steroids, almost the size of a fucking tube of toothpaste.
Oh, wow.
It's massive.
The syringe itself?
Yes.
Okay, what about the opening? Or does it have an elongated plastic flexible tip?
Well,
no?
you can unscrew the tip, and then it's just got like a nipple that shoots water when you put it in there.
Okay.
I've tried to flush her ear so many fucking times, it doesn't come out. It's that big. And possibly winding through her canal.
Is it, well, yeah, I was just going to say, is it attached, like, permanently? Are they sure it's earwax?
I don't know. But I've been saying I wanted her to go see a fucking ear doctor.
You should have.
For years. Because they have a camera that can go in there
yeah.
and see what's really going on. But to go to an ENT, you need a referral. And when your pediatrician says everything's fine, and your ex is an anxious, paranoid, stupid cunt who doesn't want to have to do anything that you say because she thinks that you're being arrogant when you're actually reading up on these things and have a rudimentary knowledge of medicine and such. Like 150 years ago, give me a stethoscope, I'm your fucking town doctor pretty much. I know enough of this shit from work. But she continually will try to discount my own knowledge in what is seemingly her attempt to make up for her lack of any awareness. It's like she has to make me feel shitty so that she can feel better about how fucking stupid she is.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people do.
Yeah. Anyway, so fast forward to like 2 weeks ago now, roughly. I took a look in the ear. I was like, oh my God, this is bad. Now, Ivy was over here picking up Boo Boo Baby, who I was babysitting. I watched the Beast's other child just to be nice so she could work. And they got to see their other sister here, so I was like, fine, whatever, fuck it, I don't care. So I'm like, hey, Ivy, take a look at this thing in her ear. Tell me if that doesn't look like it's blocking her entire ear canal almost. And she's like, holy shit. Yeah, that's not good. That's all the assurance I needed, because the wife and I obviously have seen it and went, holy shit. And my parents have seen it, but they haven't, jumped on the bandwagon and trying to do anything about it. I know for fact that peroxide can help if you have a problem in your ear.
Like hydrogen peroxide or just...
Yes.
Okay.
Years ago, I went to basketball camp. There was a pool. So we went swimming one night, and my ear got full of water. So the trainer had me lay on my side. He poured a little cap full of hydrogen peroxide in my ear. He let it sit for 5 minutes. I turned my head over. It cleared up enough of the wax buildup that the water came out.
Okay.
Conversely, years later, when I was dating a girl and her sister had a problem, her dad told her the same thing. Only she left the peroxide in for a long fucking time and had terrible ear pain for weeks after.
Yeah, I imagine that would have burned off some of the good stuff that's in your ear.
Yeah, so she's stupid, but she has beautiful tits. Anyways.
So it's a wash.
Yeah. I took the squirty syringe like you had for your teeth. I have a few of them laying around from various different diagnoses the children have had, or one from my own fucking wisdom teeth being pulled and flushing the holes out. I put literally 3 drops of peroxide onto this brown nugget of wax. I let it sit for 10 seconds, and then I flipped her over, tucked some fucking toilet paper in, and let it seep back out. Then I immediately flushed the shit out of her ear. Mm-hmm. Like 3 actual drops of peroxide to, I bet you I put a half a liter of water in and out of her ear to try to flush it out. It didn't work. Turned the wax yellowish.
Well, it cleaned and polished it up a little bit.
I guess. So she goes home to the beast's house. And she had been fine. She thanked me for trying. I had this little silicone scoopy ear tool thing, right? Mm-hmm. You can buy a box of them. They're just like this little soft silicone bendy little cup that you can scrape little nuggets of wax so you can reach, near the ear's edge. I tried it. I barely nicked it, before I did peroxide, and it was crispy. The wax blockage. Afterwards, I couldn't get it to go anywhere. And then she's like, ow, my ear. I'm like, I didn't even touch you barely. She goes home. She's at the beast's house with her other grandmother. Loses her shit. She's fucking crying, saying her ear hurts. She's sensitive to loud sounds. She didn't want to tell her mom or grandma about it. She was afraid I'd get in trouble for doing anything to her ear, or that she'd be in trouble for letting me go in her ear. Mm-hmm. I just want to reiterate, I did not at any time dig in her ear. I did not draw any blood or go deeper than maybe, we'll say, a half an inch into the canal from the actual entrance of the hole. It's not very far. And did I mention I did not use a Q-tip?
No.
No Q-tips. I'm going to read you a text message exchange between the beast and I.
This is like story time, only better.
Yeah, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to just read it in voices, I guess. Just so it's easier to tell.
I can't wait to hear the beast's voice.
11:38 at night, this begins. I dropped her off at 6 p.m. What the hell did you do to our daughter's ear? And I said, what do you mean? She's been screaming and crying in pain. Said you put peroxide in her ear and some sort of spoon. Dug in her ear with a Q-tip. Was scared to have my mom tell me. She had trouble with loud noises. Leave her ears alone. Now I gotta go to the doctor on my one day to sleep in. Thanks. Even the doctor told you she had no issues with wax. Q-tips are not recommended at a young age. What the fuck? Is there anything about what she just said that jumps out at you?
Yeah, she's bitching that she doesn't get to sleep in on a day.
Thank you. Immediately makes it about herself. Going on, I said I didn't use a Q-tip. I used a few peroxide drops to soften the wax nugget. Then I flushed it with water a bunch using a plastic dental irrigation syringe. Then I added peroxide is actually an ingredient in most ear drops, and I made sure to not leave it in beyond 10 seconds. And the, quote, spoon is a soft silicone wax scoop. It works. I barely put it into her canal. If she has an earache, it could be from water trapped behind the nugget. But I promise you, I didn't use a Q-tip. Her. Doctor in the fucking morning. Thanks a lot. Not sure which text you didn't get, but I said, joint legal custody means we decide on medical conditions and extreme measures on stupid earwax. You should have consulted me first. This is not okay. She said she told you to stop because it was hurting and you didn't. I would just like to point out that joint legal custody does not mean that just because she doesn't like what I think, that I have to go along with what she wants.
That's something I'm currently dabbling into with my ex.
And I said, well, how many times has Chi-Chi gotten sick at your house and I get stuck bringing her to the doctor on my days off? Get over it. Hadouken! She said the scoop hurt once, and I did stop. Then I flushed her ear with water. Water! Holy shit! And what I did is far from extreme, you exaggeration addict. The wax nugget is almost a complete blockage. Ivy even said something when she saw it last week. I'm sure your constant yelling is just feeding her anxiety. And your idea of joint legal custody means you think you call the shots. She needs to be seen by an ENT specialist for fuck's sake. But the doctor contradicts me on this once, and you talk like that advice carries on until the kid's an adult.
I'd find a different doctor. Get a second opinion.
Yeah, maybe. I'm like, what I did for her has been done to my ears before. She didn't even complain the rest of the time that she was with me, and I did it at like 2 p.m. Put a cotton ball in and have her sleep on her left side so that any water runs out.
I wouldn't even worry about a cotton ball. Just let it fall on the pillow.
Well, I'm just like, I want her to go see an ENT specialist to get a camera in there. And she says, leave her ear alone. Don't take advice from jail nurses who don't treat kids. I'm done here. Don't even know why I fucking called you. You cannot co-parent without bitching when you don't get your way. And then she just said, you fucking take her. And I'm like, I have to work. She's like, I'm done responding now. You need a referral for that shit. I'm not taking her unless the doctor says so. Call her if you want. And I'm like, our facility nurses all had kids, and they treat adult and child earwax the same, genius.
Are you skipping any words in these sentences, or is this word for word?
Word for word what I texted.
Okay, because just listening to it, she's coming across, without even your voice, making that voice,
Yeah.
coming across as a complete and utter bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. You could be like, if you would like to, you could call a doctor and get it done yourself, but I'm not going to be any part of it. That's what I told my ex when she wanted to get Bubba reevaluated. I was like, you can do it. I've already done it once. You can pay for it. I'll help you out. I'll support it, but don't expect me to be paying for it or any other shit.
Right. So this continues with me saying, her doctor needs to refer her. And then the Beast responds, then why don't you call the doctor and tell the doctor that you know more about doctor stuff than she does? Or better yet, get your damn medical degree. Now leave me alone. If you'd like to come to the appointment, be my guest, but I'm going to sleep. And I just, and then she says this, why don't you Google earwax? It serves a purpose, kind of like nose hairs. No.
Some earwax, yes, but excessive is bad.
I said, not that much. It doesn't affect your hearing or cause any problems, so why are you so concerned? It's only an issue if it's causing problems. It's essentially fucking cosmetic.
Well, then I got a question. Has she always had perfect hearing when she gets her hearing tested at like school or the doctor and whatnot?
I think so.
Okay, I don't even think they test kids in schools anymore.
No, they don't.
Okay.
My comeback to that is, no. Earrings are cosmetic. Wax is just ear snot. She's like, there's no talking to you. I'm like, if you came at me with a logical argument, there would be. And that was the end of it. But I'm just sitting here seething. I'm like, 11:40 at night, and I know about this shit. And here we are again. She tries to fucking belittle me and mock me for acting like I know what I'm talking about. Typically, when someone is an educated authority on something, they feel comfortable disseminating that knowledge onto other people from a position of expertise. Am I a doctor? No. But do I know enough about rudimentary medicine? Yes, I fucking do.
You actually can learn a bit from the internet if you look in the correct spots, and lifetime experiences and the advice of others, elders who have been there and done that, helps out a lot.
I told the Juice, I'm like, there's this stuff called Debrox. What's that, Daddy? I'm like,
I've used it.
Solution. They put it in your ears, a couple of drops. It softens the earwax. You do it for a few days, and you flush it out. It's supposed to help. My dad tried it on me.
I tried it on me once. It didn't work.
But he tried it, and he gave up.
I had a severe blockage. That's why I went to the doctor.
Oh.
And they had a special syringe with a long part, and it went in, and it goes, they actually push it past the blockage a little bit, and then they just, and the water bounces off the back wall, whatever, and eventually it starts pushing out little pieces. And they use pretty moderately warm water, not hot,
right?
But a nice warm water because
it
softens up the earwax, and it's kind of gross what actually comes out.
Okay, so that put me in enough of a tizzy of all the things I wanted to say to just flip out on her for being a dumb bitch. What am I holding in my hand? What is this?
That is a 3x5 index card completely filled up with writing.
On both fucking sides?
Yes, both sides.
Okay, I want you to buckle up, and until I'm done reading, you just sit back and enjoy the anger.
I can't laugh?
Try to keep it to a reasonable...
Okay.
So this whole fucking ordeal puts me in the red zone. I wanted to go punch her in the face. Like, I'm just thinking, I want to grab you by the face and scream, the doctor said that over a year ago. That advice doesn't last a lifetime. Okay, because things change, and what is the doctor? A pediatrician, not an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And furthermore, she's only one doctor. Maybe she's wrong. Why don't you think about the phrase, get a second opinion? Why do you think it exists? Huh? Because medical professionals are never wrong? Have you ever heard the word misdiagnosis? Did they have that term in your little GED workbook back in 2005, bitch, huh? Like, all I did was try to treat our kids' massive wax compaction with tried and true methods that my dad and an athletic trainer both used on me years ago. Sorry I don't have an official title like doctor in front of my name to give you that warm and fuzzy feeling, but 150 years ago, the town physician was just some asshole who owned a stethoscope and a blood pressure cuff. And sometimes he was even the fucking barber for some reason. So sorry you don't get to tune out after your hard 4-day work week, but do some fucking research before chewing my ass. Seriously. Otherwise, I'll take her in myself so the adults can talk.
Which is what I'd do at this point.
Maybe. So she took her to the doctor.
Maybe.
She took her to the doctor. And today, it was funny. She looked in the ear, and she's like, well, I mean, it's there, but I can't see all of her eardrum. Then she tried to squirt a little water in with a syringe. The doctor that, is the all-knowing authority. Kid starts screaming about how it hurts. So guess what we were given? A referral to an ENT specialist. Yay. Holy shit. But then immediately, Dumblecock starts jumping down my throat with, you need to call this doctor that she's going to and fucking find out if this is covered by insurance, because I'm not paying out of pocket for this shit.
It's your kid.
Everything's money to her.
I don't even know how many thousands of dollars I've willy-nilly dropped on my kids because they needed it.
Well, she says that I'm a cheap ass, though. So anyways, yeah, we're going to see how this goes. I'm willing to bet that when she goes to that appointment, they stick the camera in her ear, it's going to look like a horror show.
Probably.
Here is an update on the juice and her earwax potato. The ENT doctor said it should come out. Big fucking shock. He removed it and it was the size of a snow pea. Which inside an 8-year-old's ear canal is pretty goddamn big.
Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann.
And I'm number one fan Tim.
And that's the end.